Hello friends! Got a couple of things to catch up on. A couple of vacays that I've been a little lazy since I got home. Haven't been doing great at recapping them, and the longer you wait, the more you forget. So let's just jump right in and try to make up for lost time. But back in mid-April, my friend Cheri and her husband Lance came to hang out with us, which was super fun. They planned a great trip for themselves, and we were able to hang out with them for part of it when they were here in Scotland. So they got in on a Thursday evening and we went out for a walk here in Glasgow, and we went up to the university and we went out and got some fish and chips and went to the botanical gardens and just took a million pictures, and we had so much fun. It's always just fun to show people around a city that you've come to love and show them all the little nooks and crannies that you think are really cool and see if they think it's cool too. The next morning we got up and we went to the corner store to get some breakfast, and then we set out to pick up our rental car, which went very smoothly, and Lance was driving and he rocked it. He did a great job. He wasn't nervous at all. He was really chill about it. And we drove straight up to Stirling, which is really close to Glasgow, and they have a really cool castle up there that we got to kind of tour around. We didn't do any official tours because that's not how we roll, but we just kind of wandered around, and we went out into the town a little bit to see the graveyard there that's close to the castle, and just had a great time. Took so many pictures, it's ridiculous. The castle is huge. Joshua and I will hopefully be going back because it's not too far away, and I feel like it would be a really cool place to get to visit more than once and maybe see a bit more of the town as well. After that, we went to a castle on some cliffs by the sea called Donader, I believe. I looked up how to pronounce all these things and I don't know if I did a great job. But anyway, that's beside the point. It was a really cool castle. It was just sort of like that. It was like the quintessential castle, just right there on this cliff, and the sea's right there and everything is amazing. We didn't go inside because we're cheap like that, but we just took a lot of pictures outside and then wandered down to the beach down there and got caught in a freak rainstorm. It didn't last very long, but it was kind of cold. And then we went and wandered around the kind of town that's outside the castle called Stonehaven, which was super fun. We went to a really good sandwich place. Then we had to find a public toilet, so where else better to go than to the library? Then we did a little bit of a longer drive, continuing north, and we went through Cairngorms National Park, which was gorgeous, and we kept stopping for pictures and getting some amazing scenery. It was super windy and really cold. At one point, I didn't know if we were going to make it through, but we plowed through. We got some great pictures, had a blast driving through there. Then at the kind of north part of the park, of the national park, is a little place called Aviemore, and they have a lake there which has a little island that a ruined castle is on. So we kind of took a little walk over to there. I looked up how to pronounce the lake. It's no, I'm not going to do it. It's Loch on Elan. Loch on Elan. There we go. That was actually not bad. 3 rounds of applause for me. 3 claps, 2 claps, no claps. But then there's a castle out on the water. It just adds, I don't know. I'm such an American. I'm like, a castle. It's so magical. But it is. It really is. It was so cool. And the water was really still. It was basically kind of one of those lakes that's got kind of like a mirror vibe going. So we had a ton of fun just wandering around taking pictures of that. And Joshua took one for the team to get a picture that I really wanted. He had to stand on some rocks in the water, but he did it. He rocked it. That was actually an unintended pun. Don't judge me. So it was getting kind of late. We got into Inverness a little bit later than we wanted to, but when you're out adventuring, what do? And we checked into our Airbnb, which is a great little place right in the center of town. And we went to a random little pizza place for dinner, which turned out to be really good. And we wanted to go, there was a gelato place, but it closed like 9, and we didn't finish dinner until like 10. So we went to the grocery store to get some ice cream, and then we went back to the Airbnb and played the worst game. I don't even remember what it was called. It was the worst. It was like a version of Chutes and Ladders, I guess, but it also tied into, I think, like a British reality show. Maybe I should have looked that up before filming this. I don't know what was going on, but it was amazing and ridiculous. The next morning we woke up and we went to a little place for breakfast, which was super fun, just kind of like a whatever diner style breakfast. And then we drove down to Loch Ness, which was of course gorgeous, and took a bunch of pictures. Basically everything in this video, like then we took pictures, then we took pictures. A lot of pictures were taken, people. Pictures were taken. And then Cheri and Lance had a lot of hiking planned. Joshua and I aren't really hikers, so we parted ways. They took us back up to the city, back up to Inverness, and we parted ways, and Joshua and I spent the rest of the day in the city just enjoying what it had to offer. We literally ate lunch in the mall food court. It happened. I'm fine with it. And, you know, like the real locals on a Saturday afternoon, where are the locals going to be? Mall food court, okay? We thought it through. We thought it through. And we didn't. And it was kind of rainy, but that's why we were in the mall. Kind of cleared up. And we went back out and we walked along the Inverness, which ended up being amazing. There was a lot of great things to see. We tried to go to the cathedral, guys. This is a true story. So we tried to go to the cathedral, and as we're walking up to it, we saw some like really beautiful vintage cars kind of like backing up to right in front of the front door. And I was like, oh, that can only mean one thing. Like there's definitely a wedding going on here today. And for some reason, my brain kind of processed like, oh, they're probably just getting ready for the wedding. I don't know why I thought that people who were getting ready for the wedding would be showing up in really cool vintage cars. But anyway, we kind of wandered the side of the building and couldn't really see the entrance for like a few minutes. And then like the actual entrance to the cathedral was open. It was like this door, and it was, you know, like public welcome, but we were treading lightly. And we kind of walked in this side door, and we definitely almost walked into the wedding processional. True story. Obviously, it was the bride who was getting out of that nice car. We did not see her at all. And then we walked in, and like 1 second later, the organ like started playing. And then I like kind of wanted to peek, so I just like walked around the corner like a tiny bit. And then I felt like everyone was looking at me because they were all looking toward the back of the chapel, obviously, at the bride. And I was wearing a white jacket, so I looked like an idiot. So we booked it out of there. So we didn't really get to see the inside of the cathedral, but it's what you get. It's what you get. But we had a lovely walk along the river. It was gorgeous. The weather had very much cleared up by then, and we were able to have a great early dinner at a great restaurant that was right on the river. And then we went to the train station and got on our train and headed back to Glasgow. And the train ride was amazing. Like there was so much beautiful scenery. We only had one like layover stop, change, I guess is what they call them, change, which wasn't too bad at all. I don't even remember where that was. Oh, in Perth. And we changed trains, and it was only like a 20-minute wait, and it wasn't too bad. We got back a little bit late, but you know, it is what it is, and the sun is setting later and later here, so the light held out to keep seeing some scenery. But it was gorgeous, and we had a blast. Then we were just home on Sunday, and then on Monday, Cheri and Lance were in Edinburgh, and so we met them there and wandered around, went to the National Museum. We went to like the hilltops. There's a lot of hills in Edinburgh. We wandered some hills, which was amazing, really cold. And we went to a really fun bakery that was like the most hipster place of anyone's lives. And we got hot chocolate, and Joshua got like a chili hot chocolate, and it was really, really hot, like spicy hot, but kind of amazing. I don't remember what I got. It was like a rose and cardamom or something like that. But it was super fun, and they had been staying in an amazing Airbnb, so we went and kicked it and caught up on all of our favorite YouTube videos because, you know, that's what you do with your old work friends. You bond over YouTube like you did it at work. What? Who said that? Anyway, it was amazing. Cheri and Lance, love and hearts to you guys back home now in Utah. We had a blast. Thanks for visiting us. If anybody else wants to visit, our couch is open. Love to all. Farewell.